Hello everyone and welcome back to VGC week 2. Um, so this week I'm going to be using the team I used to get 12th place at the first regional championship in Mexico. This team, it was my own creation and it was a style that really suited me. Back then, I've always been a huge fan of Trick Room ever since it was introduced in 4th generation, I believe. And I always liked using teams like Bronzong, Snorlax, Rhyperior, Camera, things like that. And so I tried quite a few variations of Mega Camera teams and other things, but I had a lot of issues with common Pokemon, so I figured if I used the more common Pokemon, all of them, their bulkier versions, and under Trick Room, I would have advantage over the non-bulkier, more straightforward aggro versions of the teams. And so this might be very outdated to the current metagame because the current metagame is a lot more bulky. But at the time it really worked out, and at the tournament I only missed top cut because of resistance. But I was tied with 6th place all the way to 15th place, so it really wasn't up to me not to make top cut. And yeah, let's go over the team really quickly. We have Mega Kangaskhan with Fake Outs to allow us to set up Trick Room, and with ability Inner Focus. Why is this? Because many times my opponents would run a faster Fake Out user like Raichu or Lopunny, or even other Kangaskhan's, and they would try to fake me out and do something else like taunt my Cresselia or try to KO it, but Inner Focus allowed me to not Mega Evolve and with that fake out my other opponent's Pokemon, essentially wasting their turn and allowing me to set up Trick Room to be able to start my sweep next turn. Then we have a super offensive Heatran with quite a few defense EVs. I honestly don't remember what these EVs were supposed to do, but it added a lot of physical bulk, and it also has Substitute. So Substitute and Life Orb might be counterintuitive, but it really worked at the time, and the extra damage from Life Orb proved to be really useful in many instances. Especially because, as you will see, I don't have any water resists or any way to hit a water Pokemon for super effective damage, so I usually had to double up on Pokemon, so on water Pokemon, so the extra power from Earth Power was very useful. Nothing else too surprising there. We have a Choice Spec Sylveon with minimum speed and Hidden Power Ground. And right now, after I grinded up a bit with this team, I think Hidden Power Fire would be a lot more useful, so I might switch to that depending on how our battles are going, because Hidden Power Ground is essentially just for Heatran, but they're all carrying Shuka Berry anyways right now, so maybe Hidden Power Fire to hit for a Thorn and other things like that, and Scissor probably would be a lot better. I don't remember what the defensive EVs helped me survive, and I'm considering investing a bit more, dropping a little bit of special attack and adding even more into defense to survive double edges from Salamence and Kangaskhan and things like that, but for now we'll leave it as the original version. Now, this Landorus at the time was pretty innovative because it used Assault Vest, so it survived many ice hits that people were not expecting it to live, and it gave me a semi non-Trick Room mode, and also switching around between Earthquake and Rock Slide or Knockoff and things like that really caught a lot of opponents off guard. So that little surprise factor and the fact that games were best of one in that tournament really made Landorus one of the MVPs of the tournament. Now, Bisharp was a very specific anti-Ghost Pokemon and anti-Aegislash counter, and it also allowed me to finish off Pokemon with Sucker Punch that thought were safe with an Amoonguss with an Amoonguss next to it, because as you can see it's carrying safety goggles, and that was another very surprising item at the time. I can't tell you how many times Amoonguss tried to spore my Bisharp when under Trick Room, or even tried to Sucker Punch it, or tried to deflect a Sucker Punch from something that had low HP or something like that, and then be surprised that it was knocked out. And the rest of the moves are pretty standard. The bulk, honestly, here is pretty much irrelevant because Bisharp is so frail anyways, but yeah, it worked out okay, I guess. Like, I would consider making this the standard, maybe not Jolly, but Adamant, max attack, max speed, in order to combine with Landorus, like in retrospect, but for now we'll use the original version. And finally, Cresselia, our Trick Room setter. It takes a lot of hits very nicely, and Helping Hand gave us that extra boost for Sylveon's Hyper Voice or Kangaskhan's Double Edge, allowing me to take knockouts on Pokemon that might be specifically EV'd to survive such hits without any boosts. But what really made Cresselia shine was Aegislash gives this team a lot of trouble, like a lot of trouble. And a Helping Hand Sucker Punch from Kangaskhan onto a max HP Aegislash is a one-hit KO. So usually when teams expected me to, or led Aegislash and something else to try and deny my Trick Room or KO Cresselia right away, they would be very surprised to be knocked out right away by the Helping Hand Sucker Punch. Although the one of my losses in a round at regionals, I remember, was I was going to pull off that move on turn 1, but then my opponent switched in Landorus to intimidate my Kangaskhan, and so not only did Kangaskhan miss the one-hit KO on Aegislash, it also activated its weakness policy, allowing it to one-hit KO my Cresselia, and so the game was pretty much downhill from there. But yeah, that's it for the tournament, for the team review. Now let's get into some matches, shall we? See you in 1 second. Alright, so we're in a battle already against a Mega Blastoise team. That's very interesting. Now, the rest of the team is pretty standard, but Mega Blastoise, that's interesting. Now, we're up to a 1400 rating right now, so we should be getting very decent opponents at this rate. And I'm very scared of the Amoonguss Gothitelle combination. So yeah, this team relies a lot on Trick Room, but this is not the standard Trick Room team, so it's going to be a tough match for sure. I think setting up a substitute with Heatran will be huge, so that's why I'm going to lead Kangaskhan Heatran, just in case he sets up Trick Room himself. I'm going to use Bisharp as well, because it's not affected by Amoonguss. It deals a lot of damage to Gothitelle, could get a boost from Landorus, and it could do a lot of damage. It does a lot of damage to everything actually with its dark attacks, and I'm not entirely sure what I want my last Pokemon to be. Perhaps Cresselia to reverse Trick Room, but it doesn't damage much else, although I guess only doesn't damage Heatran. But I'm not entirely sure, to be honest. Sylveon seems okay here. See, the big problem is Heatran for everything else, so I'm going to use Sylveon, and KOing Heatran is target number 1. Yeah, those two are up, so I won't mind Trick Room going up. Or do I? Kangaskhan is going to be put to sleep right away, but a sub Heatran, neither of these two Pokemon will be able to touch sub Heatran. So I'm going to guess Amoonguss will try to Spore and Gothitelle will try to Protect, so I'm going to fake out Amoonguss. Okay, so his own Heatran comes in. That was unexpected. I was obviously never gonna low kick anything, but getting substituted up is pretty big. Now Gothitelle might want to tickle Kangaskhan perhaps, but Heatran is using leftovers, so it will be KO'd by Earth Power, and it's threatened by both Kangaskhan and Heatran. That might make it want to protect, and I am also minimum speed Heatran, so we might even be tying here. I'm going to double edge Gothitelle and Earth Power Heatran. That seems like a very safe play. Sucker punching Gothitelle, yeah, no point. Heatran doesn't even do anything, so enemy number 1 for our team is now gone, which is great. We actually get a critical hit on Amoonguss. If we had crit the first attack, I think it would have been a KO. But now Blastoise wants to probably Water Spout. And I wonder if Amoonguss will want to Spore Kangaskhan, or because if it Rage Powders away, then Heatran attacks first. I can switch out now though, which is great for us. Amoonguss might want to protect and try to have Blastoise get rid of the sub by Heatran. So okay, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to double edge Blastoise and I'm going to protect Heatran. Yeah, there's Mega Blastoise. Amoonguss does protect, so Blastoise is trying to get rid of my sub, but even Kangaskhan underspeeds Blastoise under Trick Room. So that's a pretty fast Blastoise actually. It's probably modest, and it has more than 94 speed. So this is pretty great actually. We're in a great position, especially since we have goggles on Bisharp, and we know Amoonguss won't, and we know Bisharp will underspeed Blastoise, so I can just do this. 100% safe moves, Blastoise is KO'd, Amoonguss is KO'd by Heatran, and that should be it. He's now down to 1 Pokemon in Gothitelle, and yep, our opponent forfeits. So a 4-turn battle, pretty quick, but I think we played pretty great, especially with our leads. Against Trick Room teams, it's very important to lead with the correct Pokemon, and yeah, goggles were helpful in this case to make the game easier, but they weren't crucial because that turn Amoonguss used Rage Powder, so it would have only meant that Bisharp KO'd Amoonguss and Heatran KO'd Blastoise rather than the other way around. So it really wasn't a big important factor. Now a Kangaskhan Breloom lead is pretty scary for this team, to be honest. And this Pokemon Jellicent is one of the biggest threats to his team because, as I said, I need to gang up on water Pokemon in order to KO them, and I can't even gang up with Double Edge on Jellicent. from Kangaskhan, so that's enemy number 1 for us right now. And with that in mind, I think I still need to set up Trick Room, and Inner Focus will probably play a big role in this match. And I think I have to lead Sylveon and Heatran. Yeah, although Landorus is pretty good here too. Landorus really is pretty good. No, it has to be Sylveon Heatran, I believe. Okay, so that's a lead I definitely did not expect, and not a favorable one at all. Jellicent might try to burn Kangaskhan with a Will-O-Wisp, and I honestly don't know what Mandibuzz will try to do. Or Jellicent might even try to reverse our Trick Room. So I'm gonna go for a super aggro play. I honestly don't know what Mandibuzz does. Yeah, it taunts. Okay. So, and wow, a Helping Hand Double Edge doesn't even KO. Now, we are in trouble because, wow, we are in big trouble. Cresselia is taunted, we cannot set up Trick Room. I'm betting Mandibuzz has Roost. So Kangaskhan is quite useless at this time. Still gonna double up on Mandibuzz. Okay, so Mandibuzz was lower, that's good. Jellicent takes the Ice Beam. Now it uses Icy Wind. My Ice Beam is now disabled, so his Kangaskhan feels pretty bold coming in. He might want, yeah, if Kangaskhan has Power Up Punch, I'm pretty sure we've lost this game, unfortunately. I'm gonna try to do some damage on Eureka and on Kangaskhan. Does it have Power Punch though? That's a big question. It doesn't, fortunately. So we should be able to survive another Double Edge from Cresselia. I mean from Kang. Now the big question is Jellicent faster than Sylveon? Because if it is, then a Double Edge plus a Scald will probably KO. So I'm going to do it this way. Okay, I don't even survive the Double Edge, so never mind. That's a super bold, super adamant invested Kang, unfortunately. We can now set up Trick Room, but is it worth it? Is it worth it? Oh. Yeah, I don't think we're going to win this battle. Our opponent led pretty strongly against us. Kang does have low kick. That guy uses recover. We get the KO on Kang. And now let's see what his last Pokemon is. Okay, it is Heatran. So we need the double protect to even stand a chance. And a Trick Room, I guess. We do get the double protect. We get to Trick Room. But see, I can't deal with both of these Pokemon. Perhaps a Helping Hand Earth Power might do a lot. Enough to KO. It won't. And Heatran doesn't even protect. It does 50%. That's pretty nice. But yeah, double up on Heatran. That was pretty obvious. Like, Cresselia wouldn't be able to beat that guy on its own. So let's look for a third battle because these games are pretty short, and now this is a Perish Song team which has been quite popular as of late. Now, yeah, this is obviously Perish Trap. Let's see here, how can I counter Perish Trap in the best way possible? Among Us is a big issue. I think Bishop Heatran is my best lead here. Oh, that's very, very weak too. Well, these are not offensive Pokemon, are they? Actually, I think maybe Sylveon is my best bet here. Probably is. To start damaging, doing a lot of damage right off the bat. Yeah, I'm gonna lead Sylveon Heatran, which seems weird, but okay. Or do I want Kang? I think I want Kang in the back. I need things that can do a lot of damage quickly. No, because I need... yeah, okay. Going to use Bisharp and Landorus. This is very tough. Or Bisharp and Heatran. Or Bisharp and Sylveon. I think Bisharp and Sylveon is the way to go. With Heatran and Kangaskhan in the back. Fake out is a thing. Okay, so now Kangaskhan is obviously support, so I'm going to use knockoff on Gengar, and I'm going to Psyshock or Shadow Ball. Psyshock hits Among Us for super effective damage as well as Gengar. Shadow Ball hits Gengar and Gothitelle, so I'm gonna use Shadow Ball. If it doesn't protect Gengar, which it does, Kangaskhan uses Drain Punch. Okay, so now this is unfortunate because Kangaskhan could possibly... if Kangaskhan uses Drain Punch on Bisharp and Gengar uses Disable, that's game. But I think I have to do that. Nope, that's exactly what he's gonna do, Disable, and that's one of the downsides of using choice specs, unfortunately. But okay, this is not a terribly lost cause. Gengar might want to protect, and Kangaskhan try to Drain Punch. If that is the case, I'm going to protect, and I have to struggle. Okay, damn. That's very unfortunate. If I had Earth Powered that slot, that would have been absolutely great. Yeah, I'm done in this game. Gengar will protect. I really should have substituted or done something different. But yeah, no chance at all. These Perish Trap teams are very, very difficult to play against. Extremely difficult to play against. Like, even if it's so obvious, I clearly struggle against these kind of teams. So yeah, double protect, and there's nothing I can do. Like, even Gengar can switch and it's no big deal. These teams are really impossible to beat. Not impossible, but yeah, they can do so much stuff and they rely so much on prediction And it seems like I always predict wrong against them, to be honest. So yeah, Kangaskhan cannot possibly hope to take out 4 Pokemon on its own, especially not Gengar, because I have no way to damage Gengar. So I'm going to forfeit, save us the time, and yeah, thank you very much for watching, guys. Unfortunately, we start out with a losing record this week, but that happens. I'll see you tomorrow for day 2. Bye bye.